everybody, hope you're doing really well. We are today in Norfolk to do probably one of the most unusual stories that you can get in Norfolk, that of the tale of two churches in Antingham. Antingham, I always keep getting that wrong. St Mary's Church is behind us, but the ruin is over our shoulder. Behind us here. That's a first for me, I think. But then I've said this a lot on my channel, and I probably are many different ways, but I don't think that's...
No, we only saw this driving by.
Yeah, we saw this driving by on it. Well, actually, we need to make this very clear. This is our first visit here, but we've driven past it before, which inspired us to come back for a second time to do this. So enjoy your history lesson on this. What we're going to do is we're going to keep this quite brief today on this one. It's really just a focus on the history. Now, before you say anything out there, yes, there is parts of footage and me of going into the ruin. I've not trodden on anything that I didn't need to because there is fenced off, but there is a space in the fence. I just want to make it really clear, didn't break in, there's no signs to keep out, and as you know on my channel, I'm respectful as possible, and I've not trodden on the ruin foundations at all. I've done it as best as possible for it, so please respect that. But I felt we needed just to film this for the sake of telling the story of these wonderful two churches. I've said enough. Sophie, we're ready?
Yeah.
See you on the other side. Come on. In today's video, we tell the tale of two churches, that of St Margaret's and St Mary's, both sharing the same ground, but one, namely St Margaret's, in a ruined state, while St Mary's is in a beautiful condition. So how did this bizarre sight come about? Well, we start our story with St Margaret's, which is the oldest and now ruinous of the two. When the church was built around the early 12th century, it would see many changes, serving one side of the manor called Antingham Chamberlain's Manor, which we now know simply as Antingham. So fast forward to the 14th century, when the church would be substantially modified. At the same time, literally in the same graveyard, rose St Mary's, becoming the manor of Antingham Witchingham and Wallace's Manor. With this, over time a legend would arise as having been built by two competing sisters, but sadly this would be nothing more than legend. Following the dissolution of the monasteries in 1539, St Margaret's Church received no further help from St Benet's Abbey and went into decline, and from that slowly became abandoned. By the 17th century, the decision was made that St Mary's, not faring any better, would have the building materials used from St Margaret's to help St Mary's, mainly in the repair of the steeple, and from then on St Mary's would end up being the sole parish church, and St Margaret's being left to ruin. There is no doubt, however, how rare a sight this is, and for me on a personal note, it's one I had to do. Now the graveyard and church is still in use, and is well worth a visit should you be in the area. Hello everybody, welcome back. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed that history lesson. What a wonderful story. Like I said, it's a very special one to sort of do, where it's rare that you see
the old and new.
The old and new. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah, we've just been speaking off the camera and just sort of saying how genuinely pretty it is around, except for the noise of the A road, I think it is. Apart from that, it's seriously pretty around here, and we've been respectful as possible. I have to clarify that again, not treading on the ruin, etc., etc.
That and spring has sprung.
Yes, because
Snowdrops everywhere.
snowdrops everywhere, which you've seen in the footage. What a remarkable thing to see. I genuinely keep thinking to myself, I've seen two churches together from memory. We've seen a church within a church before.
Oh, St. Peter, St. Paul.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also on my channel as well, which I didn't film with Sophie, was one in Suffolk. Do you remember there's a part of the Church's Conservation Trust one, which is a hollow shell outside, and then inside it there's a church. But I didn't get to film that because basically I'd gone there too early actually. But yeah, so we've seen those where there's churches within churches, let's just sort of say, or chapels within churches. But to actually see full churches next to each other, it's
a new one.
It's a new one, and like I said, for us, we had to come back because we'd driven past it once before, and because you can see it on the road, it's like, oh, hang on a minute, did I just see two separate church towers? And
two towers. One
yeah, two towers, yeah, Charles Holkin. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed that. We're just going to take one more little look around, and we'll take you with us. And that's pretty much it, really. Come on. Well, everybody, we've actually had a beautiful time here, actually, haven't we? The church itself is closed. We just want to sort of like reiterate that. Otherwise, we would have gone in for ourselves to sort of finish off the story, let's just sort of say. We are very, like I said, aware of the noise of the road, and there are some genuinely... We're not going to do it today. Normally, we have a look at some graves. As you probably saw, there was one that's actually very heartbreaking. Only a year old, Osborne, Robin. Wow. Enough said on that. I think actually today, and most actually, let's just put this out there, the condition of them isn't that great.
No.
There's no disrespect to the church,
They're just old.
but we when we're in these churches, we sort of say, we always like to show you some of the gravestones, but there's not really many that are actually
Legible.
legible. Thank you very much. So you go. Legible to actually for us to read. So please understand that what we've done with the best intentions possible. So yeah, let's take one more quick look around and we'll say goodbye. Well, everybody, we want to say goodbye to you. We've shown you a few graves and everything else just a minute ago. We didn't really want to talk over them. We felt out of general respect on these ones because some of them are, as you can tell, quite modern. And on this side, they're more legible. Legible. But on the further side where we were, they weren't. So, you know, if you do come here, you know, they do tell fascinating and interesting stories about genuine people who have passed away here. And like I said before, we try to be as respectful as possible, but more importantly to shine a light on the history of these wonderful the tale of two churches. This is it. This is what we're calling it, the tale of two churches. In the immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with me and Sophie. Sophie, final thoughts, please.
It's really pretty.
It really is, isn't it, actually?
And actually not something we planned.
No.
Just a
well,
drive-by.
intentionally.
Intentionally.
Yeah, the idea was that we were sort of like second time round. So, yeah, please check out Sophie's Instagram page. Below you will find some incredible photos, and I'm not just saying that on this site as well. They're really good. So check out the Instagram page below, and we will of course see you all very soon. Feel free to spread the word of the channel, as always say, if I can get my words out. As always say, it goes a really long way in supporting me and so for motivating us to show you some really interesting historical places with really interesting stories that go along with them. Because history matters, of course it does on a place like this. Of course, how could you argue it doesn't? Take care. We will of course see y'all very soon. Are you ready, Soph? Kapow.